October is National Preparedness Month, and you know, one of the things we don't think about that often in terms of preparation is our water supply, because it's always so wonderful, clean, and safe from the El Toro Water District. I want to welcome Vice President Mark Monin. That's one of the things I think people just don't do sometimes, right? They don't have that supply of water at the house in case of emergency, because we're just so used to never worrying about that.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to make sure it's there, and then not only do you need to make sure it's there for yourself, but you should refresh it every 3-4 months too. You know, pour out the old, put in a new one.
Yeah. Okay. So El Toro Water District makes all the preparations in terms of that. That's one of your mandates, right?
Right. So we have trucks to get water if there's an interruption for an earthquake or pipes or whatnot. So that's what we're mandated to do, is to make sure that it's delivered to you on time.
Okay. We got a couple. Well, we'll go through some slides here. I want to get that first one up on the screen in terms of what the preparedness is, the emergency preparedness situation. Kind of take us through what you wanted to talk about on that one.
Yeah. So it's our job to make sure the public water, recycled water, sewer systems, you know, everything are working, and if there is an interruption, that we get them up very quickly. So our employees are trained to respond to the community and to make sure that you know, everything's working fine as soon as possible.
And our next slide, there's also, you have that resilience assessment. You do things to check to make sure you're kind of ready for this, right? This is something that has to be ongoing. You can't just, oh, well, we did that, let's put it in the closet and put away the plan, right?
Yeah, we're constantly checking things, doing drills, making sure that we're ready, not just waiting for the event. And we have plans, you know, emergency response plans and hazard mitigation plans.
Okay. And how do you practice those things? Are there drills like you would like hospitals do drills and that kind of thing?
Yeah, we do drills. We get together. Mutual aid's very important. When I was with the fire department, we'd work with other fire departments. So mutual aid's very important.
Right, like a mass casualty type drill that hospitals and fire departments and police would coordinate with. You guys have something like that?
Exactly. So we cover them, they cover us. They might be more affected by something than we are, or vice versa. Okay. So we work together.
Okay. And your employees, there's a lot of training that goes into this, right?
Exactly.
It's across the board, right?
Yeah, they're trained. They have to meet certain requirements by the state, so they're trained, and we're very impressed. Our employers are constantly getting all these training certifications, and then we work together and have plans, you know, on regular training.
That's what I was going to ask about the certifications. There are certain standards. It's not like you guys just make up the standards and say, okay, you're good to go, right? There's some national standards.
There's federal and state standards that we have to abide by, and it's great because our employees are constantly getting more and more certificates and certifications.
And what should the public glean from that in terms of like their security around their water? Like, you guys are ready, right?
We're ready, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, and it's costly to do all these things too. Right. So our job is to make sure it's there and ready for you when you need it. And there's a lot more than what meets the eye behind the scenes that goes on to make sure we can provide that to you. Right,
and the El Toro Water District, I mean, all of the supply, we don't have any local supply really, so for this area, everything's brought in, so that's that whole management of getting it in. It's not like, hey, we had a problem, there's an earthquake, but don't worry, the spring is still springing water, you know, so there's a challenge there,
So right around the El Toro Air Base, or what I call the El Toro Air Base, is kind of where underground water stops, and from here all the way into San Diego, we have no underground water, so we have to get it from Metropolitan.
Right, and so that's one of the main things that we have to worry about or concern in terms of emergencies too, is how do we keep that water flowing when it happens. You guys, in terms of keeping the water flowing, there's some 2,000-gallon trailers and some other equipment that you have in there for the emergencies, right?
Yeah, so we have trailers, we have fuel to make sure we get it to the generators, so we need our pumps working, so we need to make sure if there's an emergency that our generators are constantly running and fuels put into them to replenish that.
A 2,000-gallon potable water trailer with generator, is that also cleaning the water? Is it refillable? You could get more and treat the water? Like,
yeah, we're not filtering it there. We're just taking good potable water and putting it in it and taking it to the scene.
So if there was an emergency where we lost water services, an earthquake, so to speak, right? That would be, it seems to me, the most obvious one. The pipes are bursting. That water can be delivered to a location, and then supply folks, they come with their jugs, fill up, that that kind of thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a system, you know, in Orange County that alerts everybody, and you know, you would most likely see there where to go to get water.
And there's a training for that, imagine, as well, in terms of how you put that emergency alert out.
Preparation and plans for everything, yeah.
So what should we be doing? Okay, we depend on the water district, we depend on that water coming, and we count on it. But in case of emergency, if something did happen, what should the public be doing in terms of preparedness?
Yeah, so, you know, basically, we really, and people in Laguna Woods do a great job of saving water. So that's always helpful. And you should keep an emergency kit at home and replenish it as you need it to make sure that if anything happens. And also make sure there's some water for your pets. You know, don't forget about the pets if
my dog drinks more water than I do.
I know it, yeah. So don't forget about your pets. You should have 1 gallon of water per day per person. And we should be counting on maybe 3 days of kind of being on our own in a major emergency.
Right. Kind of, so that's how much water we should have. So, you know, 3 people in the house, 3 days, we got 9 gallons worth of water, plus whatever we might need for pets and that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you might want some for cooking too. Not just drinking. Yeah.
And fill up the bathtub. No, we're not going to. That's not an emergency. So tell us a little about the emergency communication system that El Toro Water District has in place to communicate what's going on in case of a disaster.
So Alert OC is really good. You'll see it on your text. It's a text message, social media, local TV, your organization, our website. So we all work together to make sure people are well informed and know what to do and where to go for whatever is needed.
So when people are watching television, that alert comes on the screen. It could also be something regarding water, not just a natural disaster or flood kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, yeah.
That's a great way to get the information out there to everybody, because not everybody's as technical, especially in this community, as other folks. So it's a great way.
The Alert OC will hit them first.
That'll a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say in general is probably the most important thing that the Water District does in terms of the preparation that they have on?
Well, the planning and the infrastructure ahead of time, and the what if scenarios. And there's WeRock, it's like a mutual aid group in the water industry for emergencies. And we work with the sheriff, we work with the Orange County Fire Authority or the fire departments. So we're constantly in touch with them and have drilled to make sure that we're ready.
Okay, Mark Monin, El Toro Water District, they're ready. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, when we come back, Sports Corner with Cole Young. Stay with us.